A warm welcome to all the attendees from India and overseas who have joined today's webinar. These webinars are brought to you by Be Singular. And before we start today's session, I would like to give you a short info on Be Singular. Be Singular is a unique learning platform that empowers the next generation to create a real and responsible impact in the world by working with the technologies of the future. We teach exponential technologies to make our next gen better place to solve global great challenges. We also have Be Singular Futures Club, Future Leaders Club, which actually is a club by invitation only, and it comprises of a community of young dreamers who wish to work together to help change the world. We run our program in a phygital mode, so physical and online, and you can always go to our website to check out on our online courses. Be Singular Social, which is organizing these webinars, is a non-profit entity that has been launched by Be Singular in collaboration with the Banyan, a leading child daycare center chain. Our objective is to invest our resources to help foster exceptional educational experiences and learnings for the families. Now, these webinar series are an example of our commitment in finding new approaches to education that help ignite the young minds, where they can get to hear extremely accomplished people who share real-life practical experiences and help to change the world with a new approach. We have lined up some exceptional speakers who have agreed to share the knowledge in a variety of topics. I have a pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Camila Tomas. She's a Vice President of Innovation Technology at Puig and is responsible for future innovation and technology arm, innovation and entrepreneurship at the organization. In today's session, Camila will focus to talk to young students and make them understand the origin of perfume, and also to the families, and try to get a correlation between flavors we love and the perfumes we like. This session will help us make our own perfume online. And when this is over, Camila has kindly agreed and accepted to send you all a 5 milliliter sample of your own scent, by the way, which is 1 out of 16 billion combinations possible. Thank you, Camila, for this wonderful gesture for the young student community here. Presenting to you today from Be Singular Social, my fellow Singularity alum, Camila Tomas.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be talking to you from Barcelona. We are on our 5th week of lockdown, and it's a great time to learn about new things and learn new skills and try perfumes, even if it's digitally, okay? So today I am going to be taking you through some really fun stuff, new stuff, not all academic perfumes background. And this presentation is aimed at children. So let me tell you what's gonna happen today. Let me move my presentation. Okay, there we go. So very briefly, fun facts about the sense of smell. Then, what about the taste of smell? Is there a relationship? What about if we could see a smell? And the last 10 minutes, we are going to be making your own magic perfume. You know, yours and only yours. Okay? And before we continue, I would like to know what is the age of the children who are watching this session? So there should be a poll, and please, if you would be so kind to answer the ages, because I want to see how old you are. Okay. I see there are some parents there. Okay. Just waiting for the results. Okay, some young ones. Okay, so great. We have 15% of kids between 6 and 10 years, and almost half the audience is below 20. Fantastic, okay? Because you will experience making a perfume like my children have, and they are 12 and 14, and they had a lot of fun. So I hope it's gonna be fun for you too. Okay, let's continue. So let me. Great. Let me see. Presentation. So in the background, I would ask you please to download this app, which is called the Alchemist Atelier. Okay, it's free. You can download it. We are going to be using it to make your formula, and afterwards you can either keep it or remove it. Okay. If you have any problems installing this app and you cannot, we'll find another way to make your perfume online. But this app is really great, and it's going to be very helpful. It's a brand new project, and you'll see more of it at the end, okay? Because we're going to finish the session with the making of the perfume with this app together. Okay, the sense of smell. Here I would like to make a little quiz for you, okay? It's the polls number 2 and 3. So I would like you to take 30 seconds to think how many words you can think of to describe a perfume, okay? And think of the number of words that come to your mind and write that number. Not the words, but the number of words. And when you finish, I want you to do exactly the same. 30 seconds, think how many words can you think of to describe a painting, anything you can see in the room. Okay. Okay. What I can see is already what is normal is that you have many more words in general to describe a painting than a perfume. And as you grow older, that difference increases. So people have many more words in general to talk about things they can see than about things they can smell. The range of descriptors, adjectives people use is much more limited. And why is that? Okay, because the sense of smell is actually a very primitive sense. You know, we have 5 senses: the smell, the taste, the eye, the hearing, and the touch. And the sense of smell is the most primitive of all. In fact, it's the one that guides us when we are born. Thanks to the sense of smell, babies can recognize their mothers and can actually smell where the milk, the food is. But it's a sense that is not taught or talked about a lot. If you think of it, you have very little lessons at school about using words to describe smells, okay? But it's something that is anchored in our most primitive part of the brain, and actually is very sophisticated, okay? We can actually smell thousands of different smells. It's true that dogs can smell 50 times more nuances than humans, but still we underestimate how many scents we can actually smell. And we can even smell feelings. Have you ever heard of the expression, the smell of fear? That's actually not just an expression. When you are in panic or when you have very strong emotional reactions, your body emits odors that the other person can actually smell, even at unconscious level. Okay, so emotions trigger smells, and smells trigger emotions, like memories. And in fact, as you grow older, there will be moments where you smell something that brings you back to childhood in a split second. And it is proven, for example, that when people become older, much older than you are, training your sense of smell actually improves memory. There is a very deep connection between the sensors that bring smell and the health and well-functioning of your brain. And ultimately, you know, each one of you have already a personal smell. In fact, you can recognize the smell of your siblings, your parents. If you pick up a scarf of a family member and you smell it, you will immediately recognize the smell of that person, because each one of you already has a personal smell that will go with you all your life. Even when your bodies change and the hormones kick in, your personal smell stays with you even if it evolves slightly, okay? So the sense of smell is very important, has always been, and actually men have been using scent since the beginning of civilization. And why is that? Because as civilizations were very primitive, the sense of smell was much more important, you know. It helped humans hunt and distinguish eatable foods from poisonous foods, but also it was linked to the spiritual life. So ancient druids and priests and kings and queens associated scents to the spiritual rituals. And we have had ingredients to make perfumes since the start of civilization. And the tribe of the Himbans who live in the desert of Namibia have been collecting, for example, the myrrh for thousands of years. Myrrh is a resin that grows in trees. And someone who loved myrrh was, for example, Cleopatra, who used to put on her boat a lot of myrrh and very aromatic natural elements. So when she would sail down the Nile, there would be a lovely smell emanating from her ship, for example, or roses, you know. Well, there are 150 species of roses, but there are two particular ones that are used to make rose scents. And the most famous ones are the Bulgarian rose or the Turkish rose. And they've been collected for centuries by the local farmers. And with these rose petals, they make essential oil. In fact, rose is very precious ingredient, and you need 1 million of those petals to make a kilo of rose essential oil. So perfume ingredients have been there forever. Mankind has been using it since the beginning of civilization for rituals or to enhance their well-being or their personality, to seduce, to feel better. Okay? But what about the taste of smell? Okay, I want to ask you a question. It's a fact that depending where you live, the regions in the world, there are certain perfumes that are more popular than others. For example, in India, spicy perfumes are more popular than in the Latin countries, where fresh perfumes, citrusy perfumes are very popular, or in America, where sweeter, vanilla type, fruity perfumes are popular. Okay, and it has a little bit of a relationship with the things people love to eat. So my question to you is, do you think food preference have something to do with the perfumes people like? Yes or no? This is actually a big controversy. Well, there was a big controversy. in the perfume community. Okay. So almost 10% of you say no, and most of you say yes. Okay, and when we ask the perfume community, there is a big no, because obviously they say, hey, that you like vanilla doesn't mean that you want to smell like vanilla. Fair enough. Okay. However, if you hate vanilla, you probably don't want to smell like vanilla. And this is a question already that we asked ourselves at my previous company, Procter & Gamble, almost 20 years ago. And there was a community of scientists in Cambridge that did the research that we actually participated in, that was trying to find correlations between the sense of taste and the sense of smell. And to be honest, they couldn't find a correlation. So the answer was no. And a couple of years ago, we were talking to a company called Vivanda that is a specialist on something that they call the flavor print, which is studying the flavors that you like. And we embarked together on a project of research using artificial intelligence or machine learning, which means 20 years later, with much more advanced computing capacity, we did the same exercise again with a company called SAP that have an arm called Leonardo that is a specialist in artificial intelligence. And we asked almost 1,000 people at the company I work now, which were their favorite flavors, and then what were their favorite perfumes, and then we looked at whether there was a correlation. And the answer is there is a huge correlation. The first output of that research was a 97% correlation, which is huge. Meaning that if you, for example, love ginger, you know, you go to the Japanese restaurant, you put a lot of ginger on top of your sushi, there is a 92% chances that you like perfumes where bergamot, which is like a lemon, dominates, okay? So there is this test, okay, that you see on the left. I will give you the link so that you can do it, where you just need to ask questions about things you like, and you know, you see pictures of ingredients, and you have to say, I hate it, or it's okay, or I like it, or I don't know, maybe some of these ingredients you don't know. And as you complete that quiz, you will get your flavor print. This is, for example, mine. This says that I love coffee and I love fruity and citrusy flavors and some floral flavors. Okay, let me show you this link that I will send to you. I'm just opening the flavor print. Okay, so I have here the flavor print already opened, and you will just need to fill in, you know, your data, if you want to do it, and then just say whether you like certain ingredients or not. And what this will do is give you your flavor print, okay? There is a very high correlation between your flavor print and the type of perfumes you like, okay? This is an exercise you can use at the end of our session as you start to compose your perfume in case you have no idea where to begin. Imagine you have never used a perfume or you really don't know which kind of smells you like. You can do your flavor print, send it to me, and I will send back feedback on which kind of bases and accords you should be mixing to do your own magic scent. Okay? Now, this is breakthrough knowledge because until a couple of years ago, the consensus was there is no correlation between what you like to eat and the perfumes you like. However, we proved with new computing capabilities that there is a very big correlation, okay? In the things you like and in the things you hate. Because it's true also that if you hate a particular flavor, you for sure don't like that scent in the perfumes you want to wear, okay? And what about seeing a smell, okay? And before we look at that, I would like you to answer the next poll, which is, how many bottles of perfumes do you have at home? You know, count all family members, and an approximate number is good enough. You can ask your parents around how many perfume bottles they think they have, and just add them up for me. Okay, I can see there are some perfume heavy users here. Okay, so more than half have more than 12 bottles of perfume at home. Now, you may be many family members, I don't know, but that's quite a few bottles. Okay. So probably a better question would have been per person, but in any case, what I guess is that you will be families of 4 or 5 people, and probably the adults have more bottles than the kids. So my bet is that every one of you who loves perfumes have several perfumes, and it is because perfume is used depending on the moods, and people tend to have more than one bottle at home. Okay, but let's go back to the idea of, what about seeing a smell? Okay, what we realize is that because people have few words to describe perfumes, one of the hardest things to do is to imagine how things smell, because the vocabulary is limited and it's very subjective. So we tried actually to visualize how things smell, and there is a website called wikiparfum.fr where you can actually, explore scents. It's a free website. Explore scents, by name or by raw material. Okay, let me take, for example, any fragrance. Let's say. Okay, and you can see all the fragrances there are. Okay, for example, this one. The Rama, which is a patchouli floral. This is a little bit advanced, this concept. I'll tell you more about it. And you can see it smells of jasmine, of gardenia, lily of the valley, a little bit of autumn musk and peach. So a little bit pretty, but very floral. And then you can find other perfumes that have similar ingredients, okay? For example, Mitsuko, a very famous old fragrance that in this case, it's very jasmine-y also, but has rose. You can also search by raw materials, for example, and you could say I want a perfume that has bergamot, and maybe it has rose, and it has patchouli, for example, classical combination of feminine fragrances. And then it shows you perfumes that have those ingredients, for example, okay, in the proportions. It explains you what else it has and the description. Okay. Then you can make a profile. Let me take a fragrance that I know it's Benetton. It's popular in India right now, as I know we have many people from India, okay? And I'm gonna add it to my profile, okay? And I will go to my profile now, okay? And you see, I have actually added a floral scent on my profile. I also have some aromatic scents. I also have some citrus scents, okay? And I can get recommendations based on my preference. And again, the preferences are complex and multi-layered. I might like something fresh in the morning. I might like something flowery to go out. That's why people have several bottles at home. And as you can see here, I'm getting recommendations for everything I like. For the aromatic scents, for the fresh scents, for the floral scents. I can look for only for feminine fragrances, please, or only masculine fragrances, okay? This website is a resource that you can have afterwards in case you want to recreate the olfactory direction of some of the scents that you love or your parents love when we are going to go about composing our fragrance, okay? Now, what is pretty cool about the visualization of scents is that it didn't exist until now, a really simple, universal way to describe scents. Okay, people use words and complicated perfumery concepts, but it was very complicated for people to actually imagine how that was. But this is based on the game of Pictionary that many of you may know because you probably have played it in, when you were kids. And it's using the images of the dominant sense that you can actually activate the circuits in your brain to help you decode the sense. And what you can try at home yourselves or with your parents is take a fragrance you love, find it in Wiki Parfum, and smell it while you look at the picture of what the key ingredients are that dominates that scent. And you probably will be able to decode the different smells of the component of the fragrance. So if I smell the Dior scent that you saw, there's probably very little chance that I would actually recognize the jasmine. But now that I see the picture, I can actually feel the jasmine in the fragrance. So you will see that seeing what you're smelling actually helps your brain decode it much better. Okay? And now we're going to talk about how you're going to be composing the fragrance. These are pictures of my children. Okay, we had a session at home with some friends, my daughter Blue, and the hands of my son Björk, and they were actually using the app and making a perfume. Now we have a device, in that case I had it at home, now I have it in the office, that makes the perfume right here, right now. But we will do it with the app, and then I will produce it for you and send it to you after the confinement is over, okay? And what my kids had, it was a lot of fun. They had their own personal scent that they love. They give it a name, and they said it was super easy. Actually, they took the app. It was so intuitive for them that they just got it, okay? So I want to explain to you how it works. Okay, you're gonna make your own composition. I'm gonna explain you step by step how to do it. Then you're gonna send this composition to me by mail, to my personal mail. And then I am going to send it to you as soon as I can by post. So in the team, I have a computer science engineer and another engineer, and they figured out that with the number of bases and accords and the precision of the mixtures we can make, there are 16 billion combinations. I'm not a mathematician. I'm actually highly dyslexic, but I'm surrounded by very smart people who are very good at numbers, and that's what they told me. I challenge you to actually challenge their numbers if you're good at math. There are 34 different bases and accords that we can mix at a 0.1 milliliter precision, and that's why you have 16 billion combinations. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you how you're going to do this with the app, which I hope you have been able to install in the background. Okay, it's called the Alchemist Atelier. In fact, the Alchemist Atelier was launched in July in Paris in 2019, and it's a small atelier where you can go and learn about perfumery and make your own perfume there. And you can also actually buy the device to make perfumes at home, but only in Europe. So for many of you, it's probably out of reach as you live in other geographies. And that's why, in any case, I'm going to send you your personal sample. Okay? So if you have downloaded and installed already the Alchemist Atelier, the app, which is very, very simple, what you're going to do is go to the Discover section, and then you can see already many different formulas that people have downloaded. Okay, and then you're gonna go here to any of the formulas and click create. Okay, you cannot create with a machine because you don't have the machine, but you can still create with the app, and that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. Okay, once you have gone to the create button, what you get is a menu with all the different options of scents that you have, and you can scroll down. There are 34, as I said, and you're just gonna click the ones that you think are interesting for you. Okay, in that case here, I have clicked pink floral, and bergamot citrus. Okay. At the end of the presentation, I will ask our friends from Singularity to send you a description of all the bases and the accords, but the names are quite intuitive. So you're gonna choose as many as you want, add them or remove them, and when you're done, click done, okay? And then I want you to click on the picture view, because this is what's gonna help us make the compositions in a very, very simple manner. Okay, so you click out of the three little icons that you have, the picture icon, okay? And once you have done this, okay, you're looking at the mix of the scents that you have created. In that case, I only took two, very simple. I took a pink floral and a citrus accord. Let's say, when I look at this picture, I think, you know what? I would like to have a little bit more rose. You just click on the rose, okay? And then a command appears here for you to change the proportions. And that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna change the proportions. You see, I had 1 drop of the base of pink floral, and now I increased it to 11. So look at the lemons, they went much smaller on the scent I have now recomposed. That's the way you're gonna find new balances until you have a picture that you think would smell really interesting for you. And when you have this, okay, you're gonna go to the mode of the little lab jar, which is the formula, and you're gonna take a picture of that formula and you're gonna email it to me, okay? So when I receive your formula, I will be able to recompose it and send it to you. I'm gonna show you a little video of how this works. It's so simple, just to make sure it's really simple to understand how it works. So this is my desktop. So here, let me just go back, okay? I have clicked the create button. I was just looking at a formula. I click the create button and I go into the menu of all the scents that I can add, you see? And here I'm just clicking a pink floral, an aromatic lavender, and red fruits, okay? And here is the composition I have. Let's say I want more lavender, okay? I just click on it and I start adding the lavender. You see all the other dominant scents become much smaller. And once I have my formula, I go here to the formula, and that's what you're gonna be sending me, okay? So you can try as many combinations as you like. Once you think you have one that you like, that's the one you're gonna send me, okay? If you are unsure about which kind of scents you think you would like, you can always play with Wiki Perfume and explore scents that you already know and see what they have. Let's say there is a fragrance that you love that has a lot of oud, then you realize it's probably oud what you like, and you can add oud to your formula. Okay? So I am really looking forward to receiving your magic scent. And first of all, I hope you're gonna have as much fun as my children doing it, but also, connecting yourself with scents will prolong the memories you will have of the time of confinement. Or any special moment, everybody knows the scent they chose for the day they got married, or on that very, very, very special date, or scents that hit you and pulled you back to memories of your grandmother's house. So exploring, enjoying, discovering, and going deeper on the sense of smell is actually something that can bring you a lot of pleasure. And I only realized as a young adult or a grown-up that actually there is a profession of perfumists that is absolutely wonderful. I am surrounded by those professionals, both at Puig and in the perfume houses that develop some of the wonderful scents we manufacture. And those are people that have the ability to distinguish many, many scents. They train their nose every day, like an athlete trains their muscles, they train their nose. They can distinguish up to 2,000 different perfumes. they have the ability to imagine combinations of those scents and are able to create. And they also are very good at school because they have to have a background in chemistry. But it's an incredible profession, and all of them are so passionate about it and have so much pleasure doing their job that, who knows, maybe just by exploring and discovering a little bit more, you realize that you have a talent for recognizing smells, enjoying smells, and imagining smells. And this could become a profession for you, which I can only tell you, it's really a wonderfully creative, fascinating profession. I'm not a perfumer, but I really admire and almost envy the amount of creativity and pleasure they have. And with that said, okay, this is as much as I want to bring to you today. If you have enjoyed it, that will make me very, very happy. And if you have questions about perfumery, do not hesitate to send them to me, and I will answer back to you. As we're in confinement, I have a little bit of time and a big network of perfumers that if the question is too difficult, I will send it back to them to help me answer it for you. Thank you very much. I hope you all keep very safe. Please have fun composing your own magic scent. It's magic because it's 1 in 16 billion. And I send you lots of love from Barcelona.